hello to all my friends out there, and my name is Rhoda Stone, and this video is how the One World Order might cripple and seize control of America. And so consider floods. Okay, we had the flood in New Orleans and the levee burst. Most likely it was old, it burst. Flood number one. We had the floods in Texas. Texas was flooded, not good. Now, okay, let's consider floods. Just consider floods. Okay, the Midwest is flooding, and a lot of people say these floods are man-made, man-constructed, and then these floods supposedly are going to go on until the end of the month, because the rain is going on until the end of the month, and regions are being flooded badly. Then we have Texas. So say we have the Midwest destabilized, and say we have Texas destabilized again, and you guys want to take a look at the waterways in the area you live. Where has it flooded recently? Where might it flood in the future? How compromised are the dams? Okay, now supposedly they say the dams in outside of LA County are full. Why are these dams full in the middle of a drought? Well, one way they could be full is no water was let out of these dams. And another thing about the dams in California is they're old. Maybe they're old everywhere. Another dam that I heard might be compromised would be Hoover Dam. Now that is an old dam, and there's been rumors that crisis actors have been hired for Las Vegas. So if you live in Las Vegas, you might want to be keeping your eye out for any kind of trouble. I would avoid large crowded areas for sure. So, okay, in the LA area, there's 50 feet of snow in the Sahara, Shasta Mountains, or whatever mountains are around there, 50 feet, and the dams are full. The Midwest is thoroughly saturated, and a lot of people deny these frigid conditions in the northern part of the country. I think that's naive. And then we have the West Coast, and the water flows north. Okay, what you can do is you can go under Safari, and you can look up the levels, the dam levels in your area. How full are the dams? I did it in this area and LA County, and I checked out the waterways. Okay, another thing I see is really bad advice. You do not want to bug out in a big flood. You want to make sure you can be seen and rescued if something bad happens. If you don't evacuate and everything is destroyed, chances are you're not getting out with your car. Okay, so let's say some diabolical plot works and they destabilize Texas, maybe the West, the Midwest, and the West Coast, the East, the Midwest, and the West. Let's say that. Houston, Missouri, all the way across. Kansas, Oklahoma, all the way to California, let's say. Okay, so let's say the whole thing flooded. God forbid. Maybe not this time, maybe in the future. Maybe these are practice runs. Another thing, I was online when the 20 tornadoes were hitting, and I watched them feverishly issue out that Nancy Pelosi statement, and I thought she seemed like a freaking nut. I wouldn't trust her for a minute. And I don't believe she's in Trump's back pocket. In fact, take a look at it. It's on my Twitter. Okay, so let's say all these massive floods hit. You can't get a job. You rush to the cities where the jobs they're full of people already. All the people rush to these cities, and there's going to be a mass unemployment. Okay, what we have to worry about is famine. We have to worry about pestilence. We have to worry about war. We have to worry about disease. Okay? Not good. Another thing is, you guys check out the video by TJ Prepper on human trafficking. Okay, so the insinuation is that we have such a compromised population that there's a huge market for child trafficking, and they're coming in through the borders and being separated from their families. That's highly suspicious too, because that is a billions of dollar business. Okay, so there's no jobs, so what they would have to do is issue a universal basic income. And don't think you're going to withstand these attacks with you're going to withstand these attacks with a weapon. No, you better be ready to evacuate. You better know it's coming. So that is one way. You know, these floods are a nightmare. So you guys, you have to watch and pray, but you have to be a little bit of aware of what happens. So, you know, when you see somebody in the midst of 20 tornadoes, I was up at 1:40 when they issued that, 1:40 a.m. when you know Nancy Pelosi got on the social media. I thought she acted like a nut. Okay, you guys, so just be aware that these floods could be a little bit worse than meets the eye. But the main thing you want to do is you want to make sure if you follow those waterways, you check out those dams. If you're in any kind of peril, you want to evacuate, preferably with your vehicle, because if you don't, you're going to end up with no home, maybe no money, no vehicle, maybe loss of life. You want to pack your house, your food up. You want to prepare to evacuate. Don't do anything stupid. You know, like bug out in the middle of a massive flood. That's not smart. And then afterwards, when the basic income comes in, it will be $1,100 a month, and you will be living in poverty. That's what you'll be living. And you might be living in a FEMA camp, which is better than being dead, but you want to start making provisions now that if you did get caught in a FEMA camp, how would you get out? As fast as you can, preferably with your life. Expect the universal basic income. People would accept it if their areas were flooded and there was no jobs. So just put it in the back of your mind. It might not be something like this, but it might be something similar. Okay, you guys. God bless you all.